She hunted the human as prey, but found him waiting to feed her desires. The forest whispered with a strange, otherworldly tension as Kaela moved through the underbrush. Her amber eyes glimmered in the moonlight, the soft padding of her steps silent against the fallen leaves. Predators of her kind didn't need to make noise. The forest itself seemed to bend around them. Tonight she was not hunting ordinary prey. She was hunting him, the human who had wandered too far into her territory. Kaela crouched behind a gnarled tree, scanning the clearing ahead. His scent was strong and warm, unlike anything she'd encountered in her long years. Something about it made her heart beat faster, not with fear but anticipation. She had stalked many humans before, but they were usually weak, scared, easily broken. This one was different. When he appeared, she froze, watching his casual steps, the way he moved with an ease that suggested he had no idea of the danger lurking nearby. Kaela licked her lips, tail flicking with a mixture of hunger and excitement. She leapt from the shadows, claws extended, ready to strike. But before she could land, he turned, and her breath caught. He wasn't running. He was waiting. "Kaela," he said softly, his voice calm, almost amused. She froze mid-air, ears pricked. How did he know her name? Her own voice caught in her throat. This human, he wasn't afraid. The forest seemed to shrink around them, leaving only the two of them in a bubble of moonlight. Kaela circled, each movement predatory yet cautious. "You shouldn't be here," she hissed, a low growl vibrating through her chest. "Nor should you," he replied, stepping closer, his eyes glinting with a strange intensity. "But somehow we found each other." Her instincts screamed to strike, to taste the thrill of hunting, yet another part of her, the part she barely admitted even to herself, shivered with an unexpected excitement. There was a power in him, a quiet dominance that drew her in. She had never been caught like this before, where prey made her hesitate, where desire twisted the hunt. Kaela lunged again, but this time he met her with a firm grip, catching her mid-air effortlessly. Shock spread through her, but it was quickly replaced by a strange, intoxicating heat. He wasn't trying to hurt her. He was holding her, controlling the encounter without a word. Her claws grazed his chest, leaving no mark, and instead of fear, she felt an overwhelming pull toward him. "You don't have to fight," he murmured, his hand brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Let me show you another way to play." Kaela's chest heaved. She was a hunter, and yet she found herself trembling, her instincts warring with sensations she didn't understand. His eyes locked onto hers, and in them she saw not fear, but challenge, invitation, and something darker, more intoxicating. The forest faded around them as he guided her down to the moss-covered ground. His touch was gentle yet commanding, a paradox that thrilled her. Every caress, every whisper of his fingers against her fur, sent shivers across her body. She had hunted countless humans, but never had one made her feel so utterly exposed, so achingly alive. Kaela's usual control slipped as he pressed closer, matching her intensity. She growled softly, a sound more of pleasure than warning, and he responded by deepening his gaze, feeding the fire building between them. It was no longer a hunt. She was prey, yes, but not helpless. She had found someone who not only accepted her instincts but awakened desires she had buried beneath years of solitude. Hours, or maybe minutes, time blurred, passed in a dance of tension and release, power and surrender. Kaela felt her mind unravel, her body responding to every touch, every whispered command. She realized she had been chasing something all her life, not just for survival, but for connection, and here it was, embodied in the human before her. Finally, they collapsed together in the quiet aftermath, bodies entangled, breaths mingling. Kaela's head rested against his chest, listening to the steady beat of his heart, a rhythm that matched her own. For the first time, she didn't feel the need to dominate, to hunt. Instead, she simply existed in the warmth of him, safe and exhilarated all at once. "You waited for me," she whispered, her voice raw and unguarded. "I always do," he replied, brushing a hand through her fur. "Sometimes the hunt is better when both sides are willing." Kaela closed her eyes, a purr vibrating through her chest. The forest around them no longer felt threatening. It was merely a backdrop to the connection she had discovered. She had set out to claim him as prey, but instead she had found someone who fed her desires in ways she hadn't dared imagine. And for once, the thrill of the hunt didn't matter. The pleasure of surrendering, of trusting, of being truly seen, was far more intoxicating. As the first light of dawn filtered through the trees, Kaela knew one thing with absolute certainty. She had met her match, and this human, this one she had hunted and yet found waiting for her, would change her forever. In the end, she didn't just survive the hunt. She thrived within it, discovering a passion that neither predator nor prey could ever contain. Finally, they collapsed together on the soft forest floor, bodies entwined, breaths mingling in the quiet aftermath. Kaela's heart pounded, not from the hunt, but from the raw, electric connection she had never anticipated. For the first time, she didn't feel the need to dominate or strike. Instead, she simply existed in the warmth of him, surrendering to the strange thrill of being both desired and safe. "You waited for me," she murmured, her voice trembling with unguarded vulnerability. "I always do," he replied, brushing a hand through her fur. "Sometimes the hunt is better when both sides are willing." Kaela purred softly, the sound vibrating through her chest. Her claws, once poised to tear and claim, now traced idle patterns across his skin. The forest around them, once a maze of shadows and danger, felt like a distant echo, irrelevant compared to the fire burning between them. She had hunted him with every instinct, every ounce of her predatory training, yet he had not fled or cowered. Instead, he had awaited her, challenging her, matching her intensity, and awakening desires she had long buried beneath solitude and instinct. In that quiet moment, Kaela realized that she hadn't just found him. She had discovered a part of herself she didn't know existed. The thrill of the chase had been intoxicating, but the surrender, the intimacy, the shared hunger, they were far more consuming. As dawn's first light broke through the treetops, Kaela rested her head against his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heart. She had entered the hunt as predator, but she remained as more than prey. She was alive, awakened, and utterly captivated. In the human waiting before her, she had found a match, a partner, and a desire that no hunt could ever satisfy. And for the first time in her long, solitary life, she didn't want to escape the trap of his embrace.